Hey, what's up, everyone? Thank you for joining. Good afternoon to all the virtual villagers. It's yoga with me, Dave. Oh, look at that. It's number 150. That's amazing, isn't it? I've been teaching on here a long time now, 3 years. So thank you so much for the virtual village hall for hosting me and for putting up with me. And thank you for you guys for joining my classes. It's 2:30, so I talk a lot about there's a little lull, isn't there, in our days. I'm a big fan of doing yoga in the mornings when we get up and getting into some breath work and some simple movements, but it can be really equally powerful to do that in the afternoon as well. When things feel a little bit like there's a lull in the day, and as the weather gets better outside, I think our energy in general gets a little bit more enlivened as we move around with the seasons. When we're in the autumn and the winter, we kind of go inwards a little bit more, which is very natural and needed. And then spring comes along and we're ready to kind of like come out of our hibernation a little bit. So yeah, I think it's really nice time to do yoga in the afternoons as well. What I thought we'd do today is I thought we would get into some breath work and some nice simple movements. A lot of it will be seated, so make sure you're comfortable, and some of the movements you can do seated on a chair if you wanted to do that. Especially the breath work, when we're doing the breath work, we're not going to be moving our lower body or anything like that, so you can sit in a chair or on a settee. As long as you've got a nice tall spine and you've got loads of room to breathe into your belly, then you're going to be good. And then in between some of this breath work, we'll move a little bit as well. So you might want to get down onto your mat, or you can adapt and do some of the stuff sat up in a chair. So the stuff we're going to do today is going to be relatively accessible, hopefully anyway. I like to make all of my yoga accessible. And then towards the end, when we're really warmed up and we're energized, then we'll work through just a few rounds of sun salutations just to finish it off. Then we'll have some time for Shavasana, and then you can get on with your day. All right. Great stuff. So I'm going to move back onto my mat back there. If you need to make any adjustments, this is the time for you to do that. I'm also reading from this book at the moment called The Pivot Year, which is a reading once a day. So we'll have a little read from that. We'll pick a reading from random at the end. In fact, should we do one now? Let's do one now. We'll do one now, and then we'll do one at the end. This one's really small. I've just randomly picked this. It says, what matters is that in the end, you can tell a story that you're proud of. That's the light to hold all of your decisions up to. When you're old and retelling the stories of your life, what will they say? I'll say it again because it's nice and short. What matters in the end is that you tell a story that you're proud of. That's the light to hold all of your decisions up to. When you're old and retelling the stories of your life, what will they say? Ooh, that's good, right? Yes, really nice stuff there. All right, so I'm going to go back here. I think that all looks all right, doesn't it? You can see me pretty well in my flat. So yeah, either on a chair or sitting directly on the floor. I'm going to treat myself to a little bit of heat as well. Why not, eh? Turn my radiator on. Okay, all right. So bringing the hands onto the knees or wherever they land quite naturally. Draw some length into your spine. Maybe close your eyes or just soften your gaze. And just begin to take some nice, nourishing breaths here. And a great opportunity from the crown of your head, where we're going to focus a lot of our energy today, and all the way down into how you're sat on a chair or on the floor. Draw a line up your spine. And if you want to get really kind of yogic with it, think about your spine, and as you inhale, imagine the breath rising all the way to the crown of your head. And as you exhale, let the breath go. As you inhale, you feel the belly expand. And as you exhale, you let the breath just release from the body. No need to work hard here. You don't have to close your eyes. You can have your gaze just nice and soft. And then just a little bit of time to scan your physical body. Notice how your physical body feels, and this can be really subtle. You can make it a little bit more focused and maybe pick a part of the body that feels like it needs opening or healing or nourishment or space creating. And then take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Full exhale through the mouth. One more like that. Deep inhale through the nose. And a full exhale through your mouth. And if your eyes are closed, really gently come with your eyes open. Got a little itch on my nose. Lean back into your hands and then separate your feet and then just drop your knees side to side. Really familiar pose that we come into. Lovely stuff. Really nice. And then maybe come with your other shin in front, or if you're sat on a chair, then have a little shuffle and make sure you're comfortable. Bring your hands onto your knees. Inhale your chest forward, exhale around your spine. Sufi grind. Just get into this nice circular movement. You might keep the eyes closed or the gaze soft in all of these postures. Whatever feels more comfortable for you. Inhale forward, exhale round. And try not to kind of tense anywhere. Keep the focus really soft. And think about the space that you create in here. Nice. Make the circles as big or as small. You know, it might even be that the circles are just here and you're just moving your torso. You're thinking about your navel and you're just coaxing the spine open, kind of bringing a little bit of energy into the body. Or maybe they're a little bigger. Wherever you are, come all the way back to center. Take a full exhale. Swap your legs out if you're sat like I am, and then come back in the opposite direction. Inhale here, exhale here. And the breath can be quite powerful. And we kind of use the power of the breath. That doesn't mean it always has to be like super strenuous, but we use the power of the breath to kind of change our patterns, to kind of pull us out of areas where we sometimes feel stuck. We hear a lot about breath work, and this is just pranayama, which we're going to do in a moment, this kind of idea of breath control or breath rhythm. Inhale, come back to center. Take a full exhale. And then just bring your palms so they face up, however you're sat. Hopefully you can find this position. Spread out through your fingers very naturally. Maybe close your eyes. And just check back in. See how you're feeling. Beautiful, really nice. If your eyes are closed, come with your eyes open. Maybe swap the shins out again if you want to kind of give the legs a little shake out. Maybe a little move into the toes and the ankles. And then come with the other shin in front. And then what we're going to do is just going to move a little bit through the neck. We'll do two different versions here. So let's do it here. Let's bring our fingertips just slightly behind us and pressing into our fingertips. Again, if you're sat on a chair, maybe sit a little taller. Maybe bring your hands onto the side of the chair. And then from here, think about your nose, maybe close your eyes and then just draw circles with your nose. And you might inhale as the head comes up like this. And then exhale as the chin falls down towards the sternum. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. And making this movement your own, obviously, but never moving too quickly. You feel sometimes it feels like a little bit of a twang as you move your head in the neck. So always be really gentle there. Bring your head back to center, swap it out, come back the other way. Maybe one way feels a little more open and more favorable than the other. Noticing the sounds, the sensations. This is our yoga practice in essence, isn't it? This kind of idea of just being aware and paying attention. This gentle, compassionate focus. Inhale your head all the way back to center. Take a full exhale through your mouth. Nice. Keep the hands where they are and then inhale your head over towards the left. Exhale your head really gently, slowly over to the right. Inhaling left. Exhaling right. Inhale left. Exhale right. And just a couple more times either side. And then this time, inhale your head all the way back to center. And then just drop your chin down. So it's really close towards your collarbone. And then from here, just walk your hands forward. Keep the chin where it is. And then bring the hands out in front. And then just come into a nice, gentle cross-leg forward fold. You come down as low as feels good for you. Feel the heaviness through your head. Maybe a gentle stretch through the back of the neck now. And breathe really slowly and deeply into your lower spine. See how that feels. And then from here, just take 2 more rounds of breath. And very gently press into your hands. Come all the way back up. Beautiful. You probably want to lean back and release your legs. Really nice start. It's kind of a third of the way into the class. We can kind of just count that as a nice gentle warm up. And then from here, we're going to get into our breath a lot more. So we're going to do some formal pranayama or breath work. Just for a little bit of time, we're going to do a few different types of breath today. And we'll obviously move in between. So come back so you're comfortable. And at this point, if you were sat on the floor and you want to sit up on something or sit in a chair, this is a great opportunity to do that. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to use the nose for the inhale and the exhale. And we're going to inhale, first of all, for 4 sniffs, and then exhale for 4. Then we're going to inhale for 6 and exhale for 6. Then we're going to inhale for 8 and exhale for 8. If any rhythm doesn't work for you, you know you've got an option either to do a long, deep breath, or you can go back to like a stroke of 4 or a stroke of 6 or whatever works. What I'm saying here is that breath work doesn't always work. It kind of works differently for different people. So we never want it to bring us into a place of stress. We want it to be a place of ease. That doesn't mean that it's always easy, but we want it to be kind of where it doesn't bring on any kind of level of anxiety, or if it just doesn't feel right. You will not know until you do it, but these breath exercises, what they do is they set the breath up in a really nice rhythm. So hopefully you'll find nourishment and energy from it. And then we'll make the breath a little bit more powerful as we move through the class. All right. So we're going to use a few different mudras, which are just hand positions. The first one we're going to use, we're just going to bring our hands into prayer, and we're going to press our thumbs into our sternum. So now already the shoulders hopefully feel nice and relaxed, and the spine is long. And then we're just going to maybe close the eyes or soften the gaze, and you're going to inhale. Let's do this together for 4. When it's the 4th stroke and it's at the top, you want your lungs to be full. And then we're going to exhale it all out. Little breath retention in the middle. So you'll get the idea. So inhale for 4. Pause the breath, and then bring your focus to your navel. And then exhale for 4. Inhaling for 4. Pause the breath, focus at the navel. Exhale for 4. Inhaling for 4. Pausing the breath. Exhale for 4. Inhale 4. Pausing the breath, focus at the navel, squeeze the belly up and in. Exhale for 4. Final round on this 4 stroke. Inhale for 4. Pause the breath. It's like you're filling the body up like a balloon. And then let all the air go for 4. Beautiful. Bring the hands back onto the knees. Bring the thumb and the forefinger together. So a little connection in the thumb and the forefinger. Really lovely. Maybe keep your eyes closed or your gaze soft and just check in with your experience. Notice what you're noticing. You can be really subtle here. But this breath is amazing. Even though it's energizing, if you feel a little bit of overwhelm or a lot of overwhelm in the day, kind of things are going against you, this breath rhythm will really set you up and just kind of change, hopefully, your pattern and what you're feeling. All right. Okay, so we're going to do something a little bit different now. So we're going to inhale in 6 strokes, and we're going to exhale in 6, and we're going to challenge ourselves a little bit more. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the arms out, and I'm going to bring the palms up. Okay, so we're going to kind of expand, and we're going to think about our heart. So really expanding out from the heart space. Close the eyes if that feels good, and then inhaling for 6. Pause the breath, focus at the heart, expand out here, exhale for 6. Inhaling, 6. Pause the breath, think about your heart, exhale for 6. Inhaling. Exhaling. 2 more rounds. Inhaling for 6. Pause the breath. Focus at the heart. Exhale for 6. Final round. Inhale for 6. Pause the breath. Exhale for 6. Bring the hands down. Probably thank you for that. Bring the hands onto the knees, palms face up. And then just breathe. Maybe sigh out through the mouth. Notice the effects of the breath, this rhythm that you're creating. And for me, there's a little energy in the body. You know, there's always energy in the body, right? But now it feels like it's been altered just very slightly. I feel a little calmer, but with that comes this kind of calm energy. It's kind of like I'm equalizing the energy within my body. Beautiful, really nice. Give the fingers a little wriggle out. If you want to swap your shins out, go for it. It's a good opportunity to do that. And then we're going to go for the 8 stroke. Now, if you found any of those, you thought, you know what, I don't think I want to do 8, then go back to 6 or 4. And it's 5 rounds we're going to do. This time, hand position is a little kinder. So you're going to clasp the hands together. You're going to bring the hands behind the back of the neck. You're going to cradle the back of your neck. This can feel quite comforting. You kind of really open your shoulders out. So this time I'd like you to focus here at the third eye or the crown of the head. All right, and we're going to go for 8 if it feels good for you. So maybe closing the eyes. Inhale for 8. Lungs are full. Hold the breath. Focus in between the eyes. Exhale for 8. Inhaling. Pause the breath. Focus in between the eyes. Exhale for 8. Inhale, 8. Pause the breath. Focus right between the eyes. Feel the energy rise here. Exhale for 8. Inhale for 8. Pause the breath. Exhale for 8. Final round. Inhaling for 8. Pausing the breath. Hold in. Exhale for 8. Bring the hands down, thumb and forefinger back together. Really beautiful work, everyone. Fantastic. And then just check in, tune in, notice what you're noticing. Really subtle stuff here. See how that feels. Nice. And if your eyes are closed, then very gently come with your eyes open. Lean back into your hands. Really lovely. Bring your feet out and then just drop your knees to either side. If you're on a chair and you want to join us down here, then feel free. Or you can continue some of these movements on a chair. We're going to do a spinal flex, which we did last week. Then we're going to do a lateral spinal movement and then a twist. And then we're going to come back to some more breath work. All right, so come back with whatever shin feels more natural in front. And then bring your hands onto your front shin. So you're not kind of, you're not grabbing on here. You're just kind of resting the arms. And this is the spinal flex. So we think about a lumbar spine, and then we're going to move the hands onto the knees in a moment. So you're going to inhale here. So the chest is long, or the chest is lifted and the spine is long, I should say. And the head just kind of stays nice and still. And then you exhale, you round the spine. So you feel it here, right in the lower spine. Okay. So this is your inhale. This is your exhale. And a lot of this class today, again, is about moving the energy up, kind of bringing the energy to the crown of the head, or kind of just moving the energy up through the body just to energize us in the afternoon. So you can close your eyes, and where the energy is, that's where kind of, well, where your focus is, that's where the energy is going to rise to. Inhale here, exhale here. And again, it might be a really small movement, might be a tiny little rocking of the pelvis, just backwards and forwards. You can hear my breath. Maybe the breath is nice and powerful. Inhale, exhale, and then stay here if you want. Or if you want to join me for a full spinal flex, slide your hands onto your knees. Same movement, more of a movement through the spine. Beautiful. Inhale the chest forward, spine is long. See if you can pause the breath, squeeze the belly in, feel the attention or the focus rise to this point in between the eyes. Maybe the eyes remain closed. And exhale, let the breath go. Beautiful. Palms face up again, thumb and forefinger together. Check in with your experience. Notice. Does it feel different? Do you feel different? All right, from here, take a deep inhale through the nose. Take a full exhale through your mouth. Deep inhale through your nose. Full exhale through your mouth. One more like that. Deep inhale through your nose. And a full exhale through your mouth. Beautiful. If you're comfortable where you are, brilliant. If you want to swap your shins out and you want to join me and just dropping the knees to either side, go for it. Nice. And then come back to a seated position. And then we're going to do a lateral movement. Again, we did it last week, but this is a really nice way to kind of bring the energy that we created like this. So you bring the left hand down, and it's going to stretch us through the side of the body. Inhale the right arm over to the left, and then exhale the left arm over to the right. So inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Nice powerful breath. Couple more either side. Bring the top arm down, press your fingertips into your mat, take a deep inhale, lengthen the spine. Take a full exhale. One more like that, deep inhale. Full exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. And then as you exhale, just twist over towards the right. So bring your left hand on your right knee, your right hand behind. Lengthen the spine as you inhale. Then as you exhale, into your twist. Inhaling, finding lengthen your spine. And exhaling just a little further into your twist. Nice. Inhale, come all the way back to center. And then as you exhale, twist over towards the left. Nice, deep inhale. Full exhales. Inhaling. Exhaling. Two more like that. Deep inhale. Full exhale. One more. Deep inhale. And a full exhale. Lovely. Really nice. Come all the way back to center. Bring the legs out. Drop the knees to either side again. We get the rhythm that we go through here. Nice. And then before we do maybe 2 or 3 rounds of sun salutation, we're just going to do 1 minute of breath of fire. So using all that energy. Now remember, breath of fire is it's like a panting breath, but it's in and out through the nose. So the breath through the nose is forceful, and then the breath in through the nose is passive. So it looks something like this. In fact, let's do it together. Bring your hand onto, doesn't matter which hand, bring your hand onto your belly, and then force the air out through your nose. Imagine you've got a fly stuck in your nose. Okay. And then that's your rhythm. So as you do that, the inhales come in, but you're not kind of aware of it. It's passive. So it'll kind of, you're always taking that inhale, but you're not really conscious of it. You'll always be conscious of the exhale. So it's okay, the belly pumps in, the belly pumps out. We're just going to go for 1 minute. We're going to bring our hands onto our knees, have the palms face up and the thumb and the forefinger together. Maybe focus at the eyes. And then again, if this breath doesn't work for you, long deep breath is perfect. So deep inhale to begin. And then start your breath of fire. Forceful exhale, passive inhale, in and out through the nostrils. Deep inhale, full exhale. Deep inhale, full exhale. Really nice, beautiful. Come onto all fours. When you're ready, if you're sat in a chair, come down onto your mat, and then with the knees sat right underneath the hips, just move for a few rounds of cat and cow. Inhale, drop your belly down. Lift your head, lift your heart, exhale, round your spine. So this is your inhale here. This is your exhale here. As you round the spine. Couple more. Inhale back to center. As you exhale, tuck your toes and come into downward facing dog. So lift the hips nice and high. Have the feet about hip width apart. Nice generous bend in the knees. Breathe it out here. Just a couple of breaths. Won't be here for long. Maybe bend one knee, bend the other. And then bend really deeply into the knees. Look between your hands and then gently step to the top of your mat. One foot, then the other. Take an inhale just to lengthen your spine. And then exhale to fold. And then root down into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. And then as you exhale, just frame your hands at your heart. I think we've just about got enough room, haven't we, in the camera there. All right, so 2 rounds of sun salutation, eh? Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. As you exhale, hinge and fold and come all the way down. Inhale, lengthen, come up halfway. Bring the hands nice and high today. And then exhale, flatten the palms, step one foot back, then the other. And then take a nice deep inhale. Feet about hip width apart and come into plank position. Nice. Take a breath here. So nice deep inhale. A full exhale. Nice. Take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, drop your knees and lower down to the floor. Nice and gently and slowly. Think about the space in between your shoulders, your heart space. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. Take an inhale. Come into cobra. And then as you exhale, push your mat firmly away into downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Deep inhale. And a full exhale. Nice and springy in the knees. Bend into them. Look between your hands. Gently step to the top of your mat. Inhale to lengthen. Come up halfway. Exhale to fold. Root down into your feet. Inhale. Come all the way up. Exhale, frame your hands to your heart. Beautiful. One more round like that. Inhale up. Maybe look up to the palms. Exhale, hinge and fold at the waist. Come all the way down. Nice. Inhale, lengthen. Come up halfway. Exhale, hands are down. Step one foot back. Step the other foot back. Inhale here to find length. Exhale to lower. Drop the knees. Come all the way down. Inhale into cobra. Exhale into downward facing dog. Nice. 2 breaths. Deep inhale. Full exhale. A nice deep inhale. And a full exhale. Nice. Bend the knees into the hips, up between your hands. Gently step to the top of your mat. Inhale to lengthen, come up halfway. Exhale to fold. Then really root down into the feet. Inhale, come all the way up. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Really beautiful work today. We're going to come and lie down on our backs. We'll spend a couple of minutes in Shavasana and then finish the class off with a little reading. So when you come down, maybe you bend the knees in towards your belly and you soften your shoulder blades down into your mat. A lot of breath work done today. Some nice dynamic movements, bringing that energy into the body that is so needed. And now this is the time we get to just let everything integrate. And then hopefully the rest of your day will go swimmingly. Even if it doesn't, you've got your yoga as a security, right? All right, come into Shavasana. Any way that feels good. You can keep the knees bent and feet on the floor and the knees come together and then the palms face up. This is nice to kind of bring a nice release through the lower spine, or you can bring the legs long and you can be here. You can always sit for the entirety of this Shavasana, but as long as you find stillness, that's perfect. Make sure you're warm enough. And just let everything melt down into the earth. Think about your lower spine and think about releasing through your lower spine. And just stay where you are for this final minute of Shavasana. And do a little reading from the pivot year as you just spend this final minute here. Do not retire your daydreams. Everything that exists originated within someone's mind, a mind that first had to believe in its own idea enough to make it real. You might not see it in front of you yet, but if you feel it within, you have the capacity to bring it to life. Bridging the space between what you envision and what you actually experience is the journey of your life. From here, just bring a little bit of movement back into your body. Fingers and your toes, maybe your ankles and your wrists. You can give yourself a really big stretch out if that feels good. You might want to bend your knees back in towards your belly just to release your lower spine. Maybe a yawn or a sigh. Bask in the glory of getting onto your yoga mat. Beautiful. Really nice. And then when you're ready, you might roll to one side, or you can roll all the way up, and you can come up back to a seated position. Really beautiful, everyone. Fantastic work. And from this seated position, bring your hands to your heart. Think about your heart space. Think about your yoga practice as that compassionate practice. Time that you take for yourself to care and nurture for yourself. Just those little 1% can make a massive difference. And with that in mind, a wholehearted bow, wishing yourself well and wishing everybody else well. Namaste. Thanks, you guys. Thank you so much. I'm really happy about that. Thank you, Tammy. It's good to have you along. Irene and Margaret, always. Thank you for your comments. Also, there's a virtual village hall. It's just a 5-minute survey. And if you look on the chat bar, in the comments bar, you can see it there. It's the tinyurl.com/ and then there's a series of numbers and letters. Give these guys, these beautiful guys, some feedback on the service, because they shape it for you, right? And I know sometimes surveys, everyone's a bit like, oh, I can't be bothered to do a survey. Don't make me. But as I say, all of this content is created for you guys out of the back of, COVID. And it continues to this day, and it's an incredible service. The Royal Voluntary Service and the Virtual Village Hall are, a really great organisation who put some fantastic content out. So give them your feedback, and they will shape it, and we'll keep this really amazing stuff going. That was the 150th yoga class that I've taught for the Virtual Village Hall. So thank you so much to you guys for turning up week after week, and for those guys at the Virtual Village Hall for hosting me. It's a real blast, and I love it. It's one of my favorite classes of the week, and it's a really unique way to interact with people up and down the country. So thank you so much. Stay on your path. Never despair. There's a way through every block, and yoga can be a really nice way to kind of navigate this kind of crazy life, right? All right. Have a great weekend, everyone. Namaste. And I will see you next week, which will be a day before Easter Friday, right? All right. I'll see you then. Look after yourselves. See you later. Bye.